Entrepreneurship Revision. On Valentine's Day 1999, three men decided that they are going to sell flowers online, just to prove that they could. In just one day, they were able to push 30,000 rands worth of flowers, which is what normally most brick and mortar florists make in a month. Today, they are called Net Florist, and they are one of the biggest online gift and flower retailers in South Africa.
So what you got to figure out is you can compete in one of three boxes. You can either be cheaper, better, or faster. And what you're trying to figure out when you're building a business is which of these are you? Especially a business like yours. So, you know, the guys that do innovation and new stuff and, you know, they kind of live in a world up here somewhere because it's new. So it can't be compared to anything. But actually, you can build a business making bread. Glass is a 4,000-year-old technology. True story. The ability of taking sand and turning it into glass is a 4,000-year-old technology. There's still glass companies popping up all over the place. Because all you got to do is figure out, am I going to be cheaper than the competition, better than the competition, or faster than the competition? And if you really want to disrupt an industry and take over, do all three of these. So why did Trump start getting worried about Huawei? Because it literally is all three of these. Does that make sense? So anytime you're building a business, any product you're selling, any market you're getting into, just ask yourself the question, why do I exist? Am I cheaper, better, faster? And then that's the communication to the customer. Customer, I am cheaper. Or customer, I am better. Hard to justify better, by the way. Or customer, I am faster. And that's the reason the customer will transact with you. Does that make sense?
So from that video of Vusi Thembekwayo showing us the true niche market and the article on entrepreneur.com, it is easy to see that entrepreneurs need to have many different qualities, and some of these qualities may include initiative, being a planner, being persistent, having a concern for quality, being a risk taker, but the risks must be calculated, having self-confidence, being assertive, having the experience needed, being information gatherers. You have to also be a problem solver and have credibility. All in all, I want to know from you guys, what do you think of these characteristics? Okay, activity time. Use the above entrepreneurial competencies to complete the table below. So basically, you will say initiative, and then you have to tell me or explain the activity that the entrepreneur would perform using his or her initiative. So the example here says that the entrepreneur takes action before they are forced to do so by an event in the market. The entrepreneur will develop new ideas, products or services, or improve current products or services. That is when they use their initiative. An entrepreneur's job never ends. They have to generate ideas and do everything to eventually make those ideas become a reality. Some of these tasks include generating viable and feasible business ideas is probably one of the most difficult activities. It is not easy, otherwise everyone would be an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur will need to conduct the necessary market research to determine the success of the idea by assessing the potential market, the demand, and the competition. All the business activities to implement the idea will be dependent on the availability of funds. The entrepreneur will need to evaluate the different avenues to obtain funds, whether it is from their own pockets or it is going to somebody to borrow money to make the idea a reality. Recruitment, finding the right workforce is crucial and is not easy. Employees should have the necessary skills, the knowledge, and the experience needed to change your ideas into a reality. Procurement or purchasing of the factors of production, remember those? Sell or sell it. CELLIT. Capital, entrepreneurship, labor, and land, and information technology. These are the raw materials, the machinery, equipment, inventory, all of those things. They have to be done while keeping costs and quality in mind. The entrepreneur will need to develop the necessary action plans for the implementation of the idea. In addition to planning and organizing resources, the entrepreneur will also need to lead and motivate staff, control the various elements of implementing the idea. Moving with the changing times and the movement of language, the word and the institution entrepreneur does not just end there. It has subdivisions. It can either be an intrapreneur or an entrepreneur. What is the difference? Okay, I am sure that you know what an intrapreneur is. You should have covered it in grade 8 a few sleeps ago. If you don't remember, then you have to start getting your head around this concept. Why? Because these entrepreneurs are what most institutions are looking for. It is no longer qualifications or knowing the right people, but rather your ability to think of new ways of doing things, better ways of doing things, cost efficient ways of doing things. Entrepreneurs are found in large businesses, working as employees, climbing the corporate ladder really fast. They create new ideas and then they convert them into products or services within the framework of the business. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, is a new concept, but it has been practiced for quite some time. In South Africa, we have a gentleman called Brian Joff, the founder of Bidvest. He encompasses the definition of an entrepreneur. So what is an entrepreneur? They identify viable business opportunities and then they get the services of an elite management team or entrepreneurs to make the idea work. Once the business is up and running, the owner will go to the JSE and initiate what is called an IPO, an initial public offering, where they will try to sell as many shares as possible and make as much of a return or profit as they can. After that, they will try to start the process all over again. Activity time, you have to do this activity and this activity. After having done those activities, then you owe me a mind map of the entrepreneur chapter. And that is it for the week. Thank you.